Hello and welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for March 24th, 2021. To access Cathy's Zoom call from her website, you'll come down here, remember this password, and click here. We're going to allow. Type in the passcode, and we're going to join. As soon as she opens the room, she'll be with us momentarily. Let's open up the room and we will join with video. We're going to join with computer audio. And we are live.
Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock. Let's get started. Again, I did a little scanning ahead of time to make sure we weren't going to have some long thing that I would struggle with. But what we wanted to do today was work with the Meridian panel in the general options. And I don't know if anybody's trying this on their own at home, but I'm having tremendous results with clients. When I pick one thing, go into detail on it, the lowest number, which may be close to the root source, and then put for the theme, balance, yin and yang. So here's what we've got. We've got as zeros, gallbladder, liver, triple heater, and yin heal. Now, you don't have to pull up codes if that's not your thing. I like the codes. I've got a bunch of new ones that I sent to Joanna last night, and I'm going to show you today. But everybody has their thing, and that may not be their thing. But all you have to do now, you've got the information. Here's your gallbladder. And go ahead and let's ask at the same time. Do we need Pro Tools for the gallbladder today? No? And we see liver coming up, so we're back here. Let's just ask. No? And I am really pleased that we cleared everything. We had so much in there to clear, and whatever we did. Now, however, the emotions panel is still running. We wanted 24 hours. So we're still doing that one. Liver, triple heater. You'll have a little bit more coming up on the blog about the triple heater as we go more into the QiGong. No. Yin heal. Okay, so we actually, and I have somewhere the depth explanation of yin heal that I'd have to pull up. Does anybody have their own definition they want to share? I've got it somewhere, so I'll look it up and share it tomorrow. But a lot of these terms are obscure to us, but make a lot of sense as to our energy flow.
Well, our yin meridians are all the inside meridians. So
Okay.
anything like the heart, the lung, those meridians.
Okay, excellent. Let's see if we might have a code. Of course, we can't download it anyway on this computer, but it'd be interesting to see if we have a grab-avoid code for yin heal. And we do not. We'll come back and see what we end up with here. And then divergent, read the rest of it. Now, divergent small intestine. Nope. I think I heard a little cling, which may mean, okay, we're ready. Okay, so with this, remember the software has all the information. So we can see, and we don't have to do all of these. Our yin organs are working a little too hard and out of harmony. We're asking for some essential oils, minerals, flower essences, and superfoods. "15 minutes with 17 repeats. Take a quick look. This is all so subtle, but it doesn't hurt if you're on your way to the grocery store to get a few of these things. I see a lot of other things mixed in with the mineral requests, but again, just worth looking at. Zinc, always important. Okay, so we're working on cellular consciousness, clearing a little uncertainty and hopelessness and despair, a little disheartened, overwhelmed. These are all subtle. Remember, we're working with a group here. Lack determination. And this past life therapy is something at some point we're going to get into grief and sadness about loss of relationship. And seeing provides a firm push towards next stage of development. Celery, which also I think you all know is wonderful for balancing blood pressure. Okay. And then what you can do as a thought. Let's just do a balance, inhale. I won't do it now, but you can actually go in and work with the DNA or the actual cells. It's just a 3-minute thing. And again, we don't have to do all of these. You can if you choose, but it's not necessary. You're just getting information. Remember the other day we took a lot of energy for the heart channels, opening up the heart channels. No. Divergent yang, linking. Okay, so again. And you could, let's go in here and just see if you want to do a balancing or clearing or a regeneration or recharge of the meridian. So just if I don't get anything under 1,000, I will ask up to 3 times, but you don't have to. Okay, so we'll take a recharge. Oh my goodness, now we've got several. So let's start with the regenerate. $20. Well, we'll be doing that for a while. Of course, that's our wiring. I don't know how many we have here under 1,000. Okay, 2 more divergent light force. And finally, conceptual vessel. And we'll take that. Okay, so let's go ahead at this point and look at the light therapy. For hours. And the pathogen. And you can see this is all extremely subtle, but it is interesting. And there's that heavy metal again. And we you know, there are many things we can do. I finally, with this move, found my activated charcoal. So I take 2 of those every night. And you're going to see that heavy metal really affects the function of the brain. And 12 hours. And let's just look at the emotions, even though we already have that running, just for the heck of it. And like I said, I'm going to start doing more posts on this, specifics of all this. So you see there's a little stress related to an infection, which is maybe why the pathogen panel is taking so many hours. True self, conceptual vessel. Just 1 minute though. Now a lot of times, we'll come back and check, but a lot of times that's just calibrating if it takes such a short time. And what was the last one we wanted to do? Stress, was it conceptual vessel? I don't have it. It was stress related to conceptual vessel. And while that is going, I want to show you, and I sent this to Joanna for the VSA. We have a few new codes, and I'm pulling these up, some of them from the book Waking Up in 5D. I like to, put these things on pause and see if there's a code. And it's amazing the codes you can find. But I want to show you this first one. And this has been very interesting. I've been dowsing this into people, and it's amazing how many have stress related to this, where, and this is literally how it's put. This is not an incomplete sentence. This is how the Grabavoid puts it. The field of another incarnated soul has entangled with the person, who's living. And this can really mess things up. If you have an ancestor who, for example, had an addiction problem, and that field intertwines with yours, you can see where that could go. Now, in the book Waking Up in 5D, I think it's the author's name. I think it's Maureen St. Germain, but it's unscribed. It's an audio book. But she says she used to wake up with a lot of stress, wondering what was going to bring her in the day, which is kind of interesting since she's so well studied. And she began to get up and say, "Today's the day of heaven on earth." And to me, that's one of those "what can it hurt" things. There's a code for vaporizing harmful substances in food, awakening soul memory. Now, this was an interesting one. Activate a multitude of hearts and minds, ministering to those who have eyes to see. It kind of came together, and ears to hear, for the fulfillment of mankind's true capability. And there's a code for it. Contact is being made with divine consciousness. Shape the mind to attract what is desired. God-given power to create. Ability to perform for God and man a service of great magnitude. Gather divine wisdom. Now this one I threw in because I figured red pill can't be that bad, whether the anti-vaxxers need to be red pilled or the pro-vaxxers, but it's red pill the public about the COVID vaccinations. Bring vision and clarity to the heart's mission. Receive answers to clearly expressed requests. And this is another thing they say about if you're doing the intention statements, be specific. In other words, you might not want to say just restored to perfect health. You might say exactly what that means. Heart and mind resonate with divine consciousness, rooted in love. My power source is God's love. I now discover heaven on earth within me. And then again, another one, vaporize harmful food modifications. So those will be back there if you're interested. Now let's see what the Pro Tool says, and then I've got one more thing to show you. Okay, so now in reference to the conception vessel, we've got, again, the light panel, QiGong, the issue solver, and you have plenty of things now in the acupuncture panel. You could go any different sources. Let's do the issue solver, though, because that is such a powerful application. we've got allergy, anomaly, bacterial, and see how much I can remember. Efficiency. Dental. Dry. That's maybe just up our liquid intake with that awareness, excess heat. Heavy metal. Let's make sure we add that. And the way this works, this may just clear any blocks to finding the right solution to that. It's going to take probably more than just this kind of energy, but you'll start getting solutions, and sometimes they come in the form of a coincidence. Okay, and I'll let you know. We'll test how long to run that, maybe the full 71 hours. And then it dawned on me, I don't have another thing to show you because it's on the other computer. So instead of that, let me tell you that we have a new cocktail, stress related to the COVID vaccination, and it's packed full of information. It's got an intention statement in the theme box. And then in the options box, it's got a bunch of images and codes. And it deals with the stress of the vaccination and also the stress of the test swabs. If it is, I put potential stress, because maybe I'm the one who needs to be red pilled. But I did get to show this to Kevin yesterday. He approved it. He's got it now, so if you call him, he'll download it. I just haven't had it downloaded in this computer yet. It's in my other one, so I'll have to call him too. But with that in mind, and that would be, by the way, just my opinion, a great session to douse all bodies of water on planet Earth. So let's see now what we want to do with this. We want to put in here we're good with the Wonder Clip. Let's check back here first. And while you're waiting for the Gong, you might even want to look in and go back and forth, I would say during the day anyway, and do a few charges. How about this? You can have it all. Okay, 2 minutes. again, you can do more. Let's just go in here. Remember, this is off body, so this is proactive, whether it be a joint degeneration or whatever. Go ahead and now you have the information, douse it down. You can do more if you want to. Excessive damp. This is coming up a lot. This is a Chinese term, and we'll be going more into that, but let's just see the level of stress. Douse it down, have the awareness. You can Google some foods in reference to this, brow chakra. You can go to the charger, which is what I do off and on in the day. Okay. All meridians, triple heater 12. And you can always go back in acupuncture.com is a good one to see what that is about, what triple heater 12 is about. Some of that information is quite interesting. Self-assertion, sedate, stress factor, legs and feet, which has been coming up a lot with the other work during the day. May you have enough hope to make you happy. Let's look at hope and douse a little, see where we are with that. And I don't know if anybody is still doing their switch word of find. Well, I think we're looking pretty good there. Well, then it comes to depression. Well, let's go into the charger. Let's do depression and anxiety. Well, let's see. One in itself would do it. Let's see if we can get it even higher than 79. Nope. So that's why I like to test it. Sometimes all we need is a minute or two. So with that, it looks like we're running out of time. Let's quickly finish. Security, static, gradient. We need to go in more to that deformities thing too, so I can explain it properly. I have it in the manual, but I'm not sure I still understand it. So that's it. Anything to add? I realized one thing I forgot to do, since we're balancing yin and yang, I forgot to look at the other end. So there we go, small intestine, stomach. I'll probably go back and douse those things in. That does make sense. With that, I hope you all have a great day.
This will conclude the SRC4u Zoom call with Cathy. Thank you very much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.